Hi, it's Equestrians for Life here today, and I'm going to be teaching you how to make a saddle pad from scratch. What you're going to need is your favorite saddle pad, 1.5 yards of cotton printed fabric, 1.5 yards of dark colored flannel, 1.5 yards of 1/2 inch foam, which can be upholstery foam, any kind of foam really, thread to match the fabric, 2 yards of nylon webbing, some bias tape, and then 5 yards of cording or ribbon to decorate if you'd like. Okay, so grab your saddle pad. Okay, so first you're gonna lay your saddle pad onto the foam and cut around your saddle pad, leaving about 1/2 inch around the edges of the pad as what we call a seam allowance. Next, you're gonna want to lay the foam you just cut out on top of your flannel fabric, just like you did before with the foam and the saddle pad. Cut around the foam and leave another around 1/2 inch of seam allowance. Now you're going to want to cut out your printed fabric. I'm cutting two separate pieces because my print has a certain way it's supposed to go, and I want that print to be standing up right on both sides of the saddle pad. But if your print can be used in any direction, just cut it out like you did the flannel. And you can cut this piece of fabric on the fold, which will make your life a lot easier. I just didn't do that. So now we're gonna put our quilting guidelines on our fabric. So grab a piece of chalk or any kind of washable marker and grab a ruler. So you're gonna wanna line the ruler up with the edge of the fabric at around 2 inches and draw a little line at the top of that ruler and do that all the way around your fabric. And then after you're done, you just need to connect all of the lines. Then after you're done with that, you wanna put the ruler and line it up with the lines you just made, and then continue the whole process until you have around 4 circles going around your whole saddle pad, and I'll put a picture up. So now we're gonna sew the two cotton pieces of fabric together, and we're just gonna line them up. Make sure the lines match up so you can quilt everything evenly, and that's about it for that. After you're done sewing, just cut off the excess, like part of the seam. It can rub, and that's not good for horses, trust me. So line up your fabrics and get ready to sew. This is where those lines you made earlier come into play, and you're just gonna sew right over those lines on your sewing machine. Simple as that. Remember to lower the tension on your sewing machine before you start sewing. Then just follow your lines. We're going to sew on our bias tape now, so it doesn't matter whether you have single or double fold. You want to line up one of the bottom edges to kind of the top edge of the fabric on the back. And here I just showed it all pinned for you. I thought that helped. I know it's kind of hard to understand when you're first doing it, but once you do it, you'll kind of realize how to do it. So now we're just going to sew the bias tape on. Don't be discouraged to use a million pins because it really helps you when doing this, or else everything just kind of screws up and falls out of place, and this has to be done pretty well. Now pin the other side of the bias tape down to the front. You know, like again, just use a million pins, it really helps. After pinning, just sew the rest down. Really try to do this slowly and make sure you get it right because this is on the top and this is what people see, so I'm kind of a perfectionist, so just try to do it nice. Okay, so this next step is optional, but I thought I would do it because I thought it would look nice. So I added some cording to my saddle pad. You just have to sew right on top of this and be patient because the needle can slip off from the sides and see kind of like what it's doing right there, but you just have to be careful. Now we're gonna cut the webbing for your billet straps and such. So just measure out what they were on your old ones and just cut it out and pin it in about the same place. Then to sew them on, all you have to do is put it in your sewing machine and go backwards and forwards like a million times and you're safe. Then just cut off all the threads and make it look neat, and voila! You have your very own homemade saddle pad you can use on your horse and make him look, or her, make them look beautiful. So I really hope you guys liked watching, and I'll probably do more of these. I've made some pretty cool saddle pads in the past, so I'm sure you guys would like to see those. Yet again, I hope you guys liked this video. Here's my saddle pad. Bye!